Hello, hello. Hi, kiddos. This is Yovy D, your friend, a former media corporate in broadcasting, and an entrepreneur venturing in podcasting. How are you? How are you? Welcome, welcome. The show is about to start right now. Hello, my friends. How are you? How are you? Yes, it's Yovy D. I'm back with an amazing guest. You know, I try to change it up and do a little bit different. I hope that you're enjoying your summer. And don't forget always, there's a little link in this podcast where you can support, follow, contribute in many different ways. And I also want to introduce my new guest. And, you know, I believe that everybody has the opportunity to create and do something beautiful, and also to do something wonderful where I see those stories, and I'm glad that Katherine is here with me today. Katherine, you know what? I am going to stop talking like I usually always do, and I'm going to let you go ahead and take the mic. Go ahead, Katherine.
Great. Thank you for having me. I'll just introduce myself. My name is Katherine Wintsch, and I have two roles, really. I'm the founder and CEO of the company, a company called the Mom Complex, and we work with mostly Fortune 500 companies. So companies like Walmart, Johnson & Johnson, Unilever, Airbnb, Chobani, and we help them come up with ideas for better products and services for mothers. And I am also the author of a self-help book for women and mothers called Slay Like a Mother. And the book is all about slaying your dragon of self-doubt so that you can live the life you want.
Oh my goodness. I can definitely relate to the struggle. I'm not a mother myself, but I think I serve as a godmother and mentor. I'm very inclined to uplift young people to believe themselves. I think the other day I had an epiphany. I said, I don't know what I was listening, but something came to me and said, I think it was the red table. I don't know.
The red table.
The red table. And I think it was that last or episodes that it was mother hunger. It resonated so much with me. And there was a tingling moment, Katherine, that I really got really emotional. And I'm like, I said, Yovy, you became the mother that you needed. And please, don't get me wrong, I love my mom. But at the same token, because of what you were talking about, your TED Talk, and I will put the links in this show, parents are learning along the way themselves too, as well.
Yeah, 100%. I watched that same episode. I'm actually listening to the book Mother Hunger right now. The author was on with Jada Pinkett Smith on the red table. And it's really interesting. And one of the things that she's talking about where I am in the book right now is that, you know, our mothers gave us everything that they had to give us. And that is not about blaming them for not being able to give us what they didn't give us because they didn't have it. In the same way that I'm doing the best job I can as a mother, but there is inevitably things that I'm not giving my children because I don't possess them. I don't own them. I don't have them, you know, inside of my soul. And so, you know, we just have to do the best that we can do. And we have to know and trust that our own mothers did the best that they could do
with the tools that they had. Yes. So that was my epiphany moment. I'm like, oh, I became that person for myself. My friend, you know, I'm an only child, but you know, you grow and get that notion and empathy and emotional intelligence. And if you guys have heard my show, I had another guest, also Lisa, that was talking about your power and sensitivity and why I'm so keen in understanding and listening to others. And so how did you decided? What was your pinnacle, Katherine? Like, what shook you up? What determined? What happened for you? Like, you're here now, but what brought you to this journey? Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. So I I lived with what I refer to as this dragon of self-doubt for 20 years in my life. So from age 15 to 35, my life looked rather polished and buttoned up on the outside. I had a successful career. I had 2 kids. I had a loving partner. I had loving parents. But I never felt good enough. And it didn't matter what the outside world thought of me because I didn't think enough of myself. And so the way that manifested in my life was a lot of perfectionism and a lot of overachieving. So I thought, well, if I can just get more titles and trophies and accolades, then maybe I'll finally learn to love myself. And the truth is that I was looking for my self-esteem from the external world because I did not have it, inside of me. So that was a manageable but rather exhausting, existence because I was hiding it from most people. Most people thought I was happy and I had the trappings of success. And so, but I hit a wall and I was working 80 hours a week and I still didn't feel like a good enough, mom, sister, daughter, wife, friend. And I thought something has to change. Like I can't work this hard and I can't sacrifice so much of my life and still not feel good about myself. So I went on a 2-year self-help journey and I went through lots and lots of therapy. I can't recommend therapy enough. I wish
I'm in therapy.
Yeah.
Katherine. I'm in therapy. Yes. And I want to highlight something for my guests. I've been in therapy before because we are the human body. And if you think about it very simple terms, your car, guess what? Your car needs a tune-up, right? It needs an oil change. But guess what? As human beings, as people, we go through process and phases of adulthood or this adulting that we're doing. And we need a checkup. If you have the opportunity, if you find the resources, I'll put another link for NAMI. And I believe in the association and, anybody that requires or think that they want to talk to somebody in mental health. So yes, I'm in therapy. I am working out different stages of my life and understanding. And I did it in college because that was a transition. I did it in corporate because then I was, upscaled to another level. And now, you're doing it now because guess what? I have a new partner. I'm living with my partner. And I have never done that before.
Right.
And it's a beautiful transition, but I had to mourn my singlehood, Katherine. Imagine. Oh my God. And I was like, wow. But I'm very happy with my partner today. But yes.
I think it's really important what you're saying. It's like we go through different seasons of life, and I started, going to therapy when I was a teenager. And then I went, in my 30s and I feel like now I need to go back, and so it's like we need this refresher because the circumstances in our life change and they become new. And we just keep thinking as women that we should know how to handle it. You should know how to move in with a partner and abandon yourself and become, part of this bigger whole. And we don't know how to do that. If you haven't done it before, you haven't done it before. And so, I think it's fascinating that in school we study math and science and we even study the weather, but we never study ourselves. And I think that's really the work of our lives is to study ourselves and understand ourselves so that we can navigate through the challenges that life throws our way.
I so agree. I do. So do you have anything for our listeners? What exactly is happening right now? We fast forwarded. Where can they reach you?
Yeah, absolutely. I would encourage anybody to follow along. You can on Instagram, Slay Like a Mother. You can follow us. You can also go to slaylikeamother.com. And that's there's a really compelling video on the homepage of slaylikeamother.com.
Yes.
That depicts the mean voice that is inside of women's heads and is a great example of how we speak to ourselves when no one is listening. And so that is pretty powerful, and you can sign up to get our biweekly newsletter on ways to slay.
Well, as I always usually do, and I allow always my guest, Katherine, is there something that, like you say, I would have loved to know this, or if somebody would have told me this, where I can empower you, give you, motivate you, like you said, keep on working on yourself.
I think something that I wish I had known, when I was a little bit younger, is that you can take off the mask. There's so many of us that have this mask, and we say, "Oh, everything's fine, and I don't need any help, and I can handle it all." And I wore that mask that in my case was pretty thick, for 20 years. And I always like to say that you're wearing a mask if you answer questions twice, once in your mind and once out loud. So if somebody says, "How are you?" and your soul says, "I'm exhausted and I'm miserable," but your mouth says, "I'm great. How are you?" Then what's happening is the person you're speaking to, they might not know you're wearing a mask, because that's the point, right? You're hiding, but you know that you're wearing a mask. And every time you say you're fine, when you're not, you're telling your soul that what someone else thinks of you is more important than the truth. It's more important than your truth. And so I just invite any of your listeners to start taking off the mask and being a little bit more honest, and having your insides match your outsides, I usually like to say.
Oh my God, I love it. I'm getting goosebumps. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I so appreciate you. Oh my God, this was so cool. I'm getting like my skin. You guys may listen to it, but definitely I got goosebumps. Katherine, you are a treasure. Thank you for stopping by at the Yovy D show. We appreciate you. You can come by anytime. I definitely do. And your TED Talk, I'm going to put the link also on YouTube. You guys can check out all her information and her company. And definitely just tune in. And I'll see you in the next episode. Ciao, ciao. Take care.